What's poppin', my guys? I know a lot of you have one question, and it is, should we expect Silent Hill tomorrow at the PlayStation event? Honestly, I think it has a good chance, and there's a lot going on. Insiders are still talking about it, but that's an entirely different thing on whether it's going to show up tomorrow. Now, before we do start, please leave a like, it does help a lot, and also subscribe. I'm gonna have more content, especially post PlayStation event. Make sure to watch all the way through because we'll quickly go over everything that's likely to be at the show. But let's not waste any more time and let's just get right into it. I know I said we don't necessarily have guaranteed confirmation Silent Hill is going to be at the event. I mean, we never really had any sort of confirmation like that. But for the sake of us waiting for the game, I just really hope they do. It will drive me and everybody else waiting for this damn game insane if they don't do that, because come on, at this point just make it official. Don't wait, please, just do it. And the thing is, I truly believe this game is real. Like, I actually believe there's just been way too many signs, and at one point I just think it's common sense to assume it's real. But like I said, insiders are still talking about it, and I'm gonna be showing you guys right now some of these right here. And I think it's just the chances of it showing are still great. But to quickly move on from the Silent Hill segment, I just wanted to say that the reason why I want Silent Hill so badly is because I want a great horror game on the PS5, especially from a franchise as respected and like well made as Silent Hill. So that's like really exciting to have that, and on a console like the PS5 where 3D audio and graphics and just gameplay and everything is going to be so great, because I feel like sound in a horror game is the most important thing to be had, because that's what makes it more scary, right? So just playing that with like the 3D Pulse headsets on PS5 is going to be great. But anyways, now let's just talk about what I think is going to be on the PlayStation event. Let's cover everything, right? Because I mean, aside from the Silent Hill stuff, I think there's a lot of potentially exciting things to see at this event. And we're just going to start with what's definitely something that should be there at the very least, is the price, reveal date, and pre-order dates. All of that good stuff, because I mean, hey, it's already September. We gotta have that stuff. But anyways, I predict that the PS5 and PS5 Digital are going to cost $500, $499, and $399 respectively, and that's my safe estimation because I think that's the most likely. But I do have alternate prices that I think could be possible, and maybe Sony could shock us with. So a little bit less likely, but still very much possible, is a $449 standard and a $399 all digital. So at this point, they would just try and undercut Microsoft with the Series X and use the PS5, like the regular PS5, to be a little bit cheaper, and that could attract a lot more people towards that console because they can save some money. Now, I think this could happen, but it just depends on how aggressive Sony can go. If they just want to go with 500, that's probably going to be fine for them. And the last one, which I think is the least likely, but in a way still, something that Sony could do if they really just don't want to give Xbox any chances, at least as far as they can help, they could try and price the standard at $449 again, and the all digital at a little bit under $400. Now, this will probably just be to increase the gap between the two and have a big difference between the two. But honestly, this will be killer. This will be very devastating towards Xbox, even with the $299 Series S, because come on, I mean, at this point, that's just like not even such a difference for something that's going to be way more powerful than the Series S. But that's just, less likely. It will definitely come at a very big shock to most people if that was the case, because man, oh man, that's something crazy. And that last estimate was something that Bloomberg.com also agreed with in the recent article. But at this point, it doesn't matter what anybody says. We'll just have to wait and see. It's not much of a wait anyways. To add on to that, I guess we'll just mention release dates and pre-orders. Now, I don't really feel like giving a specific date because I feel like dates this year especially have been very wishy-washy, and there's no way like I can really guess what day exactly it is. So what we can expect is for Sony to probably maybe try and mess with Microsoft in the pre-order dates, maybe try and place it a little bit before the Xboxes. But in terms of release dates, I think the Xbox might come a little bit earlier than the PlayStation. And yeah, that's just what I think. But price and release dates and pre-orders, I think, is how they're gonna close the event, because I mean, it just makes sense. If you look at it, they're gonna, set up the event, have a lot of exciting announcements, and then by the end, announce the release dates, the price, and when you can pre-order, and everybody's just gonna be losing their minds. It's just gonna be like, I want one of those, sign me up, especially if it's a killer price and great games are announced. So, like, at the end, just close with that, and it makes a lot of sense, at least for me. In terms of how it's gonna open, I think that what they're gonna do is just open with the PlayStation UI as they did when they first launched the PS4. Probably just gonna be Shuhei Yoshida sitting in his chair and then doing something simple as like turning on the console and then going on and logging in, seeing how to log into a game really fast. They're probably gonna showcase how fast the PS5 is and everything. And honestly, just feels right. This is something that they did, and it was, simple and nice, and people really appreciated that, especially now that the console's about to launch and we don't even know how the UI looks. It just makes sense for people to know exactly how the console is gonna be. Getting more in depth into what the show probably has, we'll probably see like gameplay for titles we already know, such as Spider-Man, which is already confirmed a release title, and also Demon's Souls, which also might be revealed as a launch title as well. Or a launch window, one of those two. But Spider-Man, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see too much, probably just like a gameplay trailer for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then get a state of play announced later on for October, where we'll see like in-depth like look into the game before it launches in November. And then for Demon's Souls, we probably might see something similar depending on when it releases and when it's confirmed. They can also do that for other stuff too. And yeah, it just seems like something Sony would like to do more often, which is to like dedicate state of plays to really big games that they want to hype up. And people have been responding really well to the last two that they had. So yeah, this is probably something we should expect. Now, I know many of us are expecting new game reviews because admittedly Sony wants to make a strong showing. So anything that they can do to do this is probably gonna be added into it. And we could probably expect 1 to 3 new game reviews, I think, because this is just something that they could do and definitely have the potential to. Now, it all depends on the timing and release dates of these titles, and also if Sony wants to save them for like a future event that might not be too far, like maybe next June or something like that. But my bets on possible new announcements are on Silent Hill, and because that's just something that I've been covering a lot here, and God of War, because remember, they're probably trying to build as much hype as they want to get people signed up for the PS5, and this will definitely do that. And maybe stretching it a little bit is probably something like Final Fantasy 16 being announced and revealed, and potentially having some sort of timed exclusivity with PlayStation, because they've been doing that a lot. They did it with Final Fantasy 7 remake, and there's also been a lot of rumors going around about Final Fantasy 17 being revealed and having that PlayStation deal or whatever. So, we'll see. We just, like I said, not much time to wait. But this is just fun to think about and see like how much of this is correct after we watch the show. Remember to keep in mind these might not be the only games shown, and some of these games might be swapped for some other ones. We know that Guerrilla has a second team working on an FPS, and some people are saying it could be Killzone again, or some others, more interestingly, are thinking that this could be the brought back of SOCOM. So we'll see. Like, there's a lot of other potential titles like the Secret San Diego team and other things I'm probably not remembering right now. But I'm not sure too much on how much stock I want to put, but these are things that could possibly show at the event as new reveals. Definitely temper your expectations in terms of new game showings, because this is only a 40-minute show, remember guys. So there's only so much that they can do. And I mean, I think it's perfect because it's long enough to have a strong potential of showing, but also short enough to be hype 90% of the time, because it's short and effective. It's not like they're going to have a lot of indie games in the middle or something, because that's just something that they're probably not going to want to do at this point in time, I think. And yeah, I think that's what they're going for, like a medium show with a strong and compelling lead to the release of the PS5. And just to start wrapping things up, I don't really think there's going to be any hardware covering this event, simply because it's just not long enough. I don't think, with 40 minutes they can show that, but I do think it's going to be soon after. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if during the event they put like a blog post announcing the teardown, probably like a day or a week later or something like that, like during the event or right after or something. And you know, probably still being in September, I think October is going to be handled by like a state of play for Spider-Man or something like that. I really think that's something that they're gonna want to do, and you know, potentially other small interesting things that they can do before the storm. But anyways, November is gonna be obviously the release date, so that's covered and everything. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to until the release date for the PS5. I think that's like probably 90% of what the show is gonna be composed of. So I don't know if there's anything else that they could probably add on to that with 40 minutes, as they said themselves. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it for this video. We're just gonna have to wait and see, and the event is soon anyways. I bet a lot of you are watching right before the event, so I hope you guys enjoy the show. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to be covering more stuff in the future. And peace. Crack it.